Hey Leo, I just needed to show you the tarot cards. Okay, so I'm connecting into Leos. In your reading up next, I should say, I'm connecting into Leos that have manifested. You've been working with manifestation energy. You have manifested something that looks a lot like this. Take a look at the images. Ace of Coins, the Lovers, the Ace of Wands. Now that is something beautiful. And if you have not yet manifested that, and that experience can be experienced within a new relationship, it could be a refresh within an existing one, it could be the relationship you have with yourself and your path and your purpose, okay? If you haven't, I do see here in June you are gifted with a potent opportunity to truly get to the core of how best to do that. And it is done with really analysing the role empathy has played within your life. The shadow and light of empathy I talk about. The role envy plays in your life. How valuable honesty and authenticity truly is. And how it can fundamentally impact how we experience relationships moving forward. And when we are committed to this, because it is deep soul work, what do we experience? Well, anything we want, really. Find out more in your reading next. Leo, hello, my name is Ali from Indigo Ascension. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, you can find out a little bit more of the work that I do as an intuitive energy healer and reader at the links below to my Facebook page and my website address. On the channel, you'll find fortnightly and monthly readings. Now, the channel is dedicated to empaths, intuitives, and sensitives, those that find themselves on the awakening path or journey. And my deeper intentions are soul healings, okay? So that is about creating clarification and confirmation for the journey that you're on and what you intuitively already know about yourself and your path. It's about grounding down that higher wisdom, that higher consciousness into the very 3D realities that we all find ourselves in. What does it mean to be embodied? What does it mean to live higher consciously? Now, you know, perhaps that simply is a choice every day that we make in our journeys. And the more we become aware of ourselves and our shadow and light aspects, our restrictions and our fears, whatever the case may be, the more awareness we bring to the table to do and choose better or different at least, yeah? All things are growth, and that is perhaps what we're here for, is to experience our growth and realization of our higher version of ourselves. You know, it's about merging mainstream and soul and using to the best of our ability what we know on a higher consciousness level, infused here in a balanced way with what's already here in the here and now as we balance out our human self with our higher self. Now, Leo, let's take a look. So I'd like to offer a cosmic recap. Now, June offers 2 eclipses, okay, and 5 planets in retrograde. Well, truth be told, there's 6, but only for a day or 2. So I'll focus on the 5 retrogrades. Now, in the May readings, if you haven't already seen them, you'll see them there. I talked extensively about the 4 planets in retrograde that we've currently got. So that's Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, and Venus. As an archetypal energy theme, if you like, these planetary retrogrades are providing us an opportunity to really look at our love language and look at the ways in which we've learned about connection, intimacy, what that means to me, the rules we've been told to live by, the rules that have been handed to us, whether that's by society or family values or religious values. We're looking at our relationship with growth and expansion, and perhaps how we've pushed away opportunity based on fears, you know, that can perhaps be discovered and become more aware of thanks to the Pluto retrograde, when we dive deep and look at our deeper emotions and fears and drives. Now, all of these work on subtle layers, subconscious layers for sure, but you can see that energy and the truth of how that's impacting us, not just in our personal lives, Leo, but also in the collective energy that everyone's experiencing. And make no mistake, the last few months has been quite a different world, yeah? Like, really, things are changing in many ways. We are changing in many ways, and we're on a growth journey as is the story of evolution, and we are always evolving, growing, learning how to be better, do better, okay, with the information that we come across. Now, the full moon lunar eclipse is in Sagittarius on June the 5th, and there's also a solar eclipse in Cancer at the end of the month on the 21st, which happens to be the same day as solstice. So it's quite an energy-packed period for the month in which we've got all of this energy available, but very much we will notice that there's a distinct theme of love versus fear, restriction versus freedom. We will notice these themes, and we can see it in the mainstream news for sure, in our Facebook feed. So just being aware of how that energy feels within us, how that's permeating and touching our personal lives and everyday realities. Being aware, as a heads up, can give us all the more strength and positioning, if you like, discipline, when it comes to as a heads up as to what to expect, yeah, and what we can use to make the most of our experience. Sometimes no response is the best response. Sometimes staying no is a good choice. Putting down boundaries, not engaging. These are all ways in which we can preserve our energy as empaths, intuitives, and sensitives. And knowing that it is wise to choose when to go into battle and for what cause, when we know ourselves deeply. All right, Leo, let's take a look at the energy you have for the month available to you. I refer to this as the energy cross. This is the highest potential of energy that can cross your path this month, if you like. Whether you choose to actively engage with that integration is up to you. We can also divide that further still into what I call 4 quadrants. You might want to refer to that as the 4 weeks of the year, okay? In my healing work, I talk a lot about the 5 levels of being. We are more than just a physical body, okay? We're also an emotional body, a thought body, an energy body, and a soul. How they best balance and integrate is perhaps how we can achieve our greatest awareness of self, expanded self rather. So I might refer to that energy as I do your reading. Now, if this, you know, as a higher view is the energy that reflects the collective energy of all the cards that sort of come in, you know, perhaps that's guidance from soul, yeah, that's the soul healing. There might be a mix of different tarot suits, okay, that represent different elements. So the wands are fire, or perhaps our energy body. The swords are air, which perhaps is our thought body. The cups are our emotional body, and the coins are our physical body or physical reality. So I'll refer to those themes as I do the readings, and I always intuit messages, okay? So yep, you'll hear me mention the stock standard meanings of cards and tarot cards, but I go further still by intuiting the different frequencies I'm picking up on, so that tends to look like storylines, and that, like I said, it's all about the deeper intentions of the souls that I'm connecting into. Okay, underneath all this is worry, Leo. You might be experiencing some stress and anxiety due to circumstances in your life, recent changes, wanting to make change. Like I said, there's definitely an air of change that all of us have been experiencing in one way or another in the last couple of months, hey? What's going on for you right now, Leo, is you are centered in the energy of honesty and in review mode. Most definitely about the value of authenticity, whether with self or with others, and a deeper desire perhaps to experience genuine authenticity right across your whole life. This will be the leading theme for you in many ways, and you will be noticing in self and in others when you are sensing dishonesty. And more importantly still, as we experience retrograde energies, you'll be experiencing how honesty has played a role in your path, okay? How much it has influenced you, what it has taught you, whether experienced by self or from another, okay? I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. And speaking our truth, whether we're stating boundaries or talking about our dreams and stating who we are and what our beliefs are, is perhaps the most freeing feeling. In the past, you're coming out of the energy of empathy. Now, I talk about this a little bit on the channel, where I talk about the shadow and light aspects of being an empath. Now, empathy comes with not just a responsibility, you know, but it can be experienced as a burden too, as we learn the greatest mastery of it and how we can house that gift and ability within us. To be sensitive is great. Guys, come here. I might have to press pause, Leo. I'll talk about the shadow and light aspects of empathy now. You know, it's one thing as an empath to say, I'm an empath, I'm sensitive, and I can feel them, and I really am driven to wanting to help, you know. But this is a beautiful month in which there's an opportunity here for you, Leo, to really get honest with the motivations and deeper intentions behind that. That's the gift of Pluto, where we're met with the truth of our deeper thoughts and drives and fears and the reasons why we do things in the realms of love, connection, and that's where we meet empathy. We meet empathy in our connection to others. We either experience it in ourselves and it's reflected back to us or not, or we become aware of compassion or non-compassion. Yeah, we know what empathy is when we know what it is not, etc. Just like we know what love is when we know what it is not. Same too with honesty. Our empathy can help feed this in many ways, for better or worse. Now, balancing both the two is something else entirely. If I'm empathically picking up on others and have this deeper drive to want to help and continue to give, and we can be giving and of service by simply being that emotional sponge for the weight of other people's emotions. We can be the sounding boards for their need to process their thoughts, which we energetically then carry. How are we being empathic to self when we continue to do so and continue to allow ourselves to feel drained, Leo? Yeah, I feel very strongly a couple of different frequencies here. I'm connecting into Leos that are very much empathic and they're aware of their sensitivities and are now needing to be honest, because this is the energy you have come from in the recent past. This is the honesty the energy that you're currently in. Being honest about how your empathy has served you. It takes quite a bit for an empath to really get to a point of complete selfishness that is required to achieve the balance. Yeah, why live a life needing to hide away from the world or limit contact, because simply the contact we're experiencing can be quite draining on the emotional body, the thought body, the energetic body. Where do we have to get honest with ourselves about how we are not being empathic with self and we're not actually enjoying our experience as an empath? I do see in many ways in mainstream spiritual circles, we talk about the suffering that comes with being an empath. But in order to experience true empathy, we feel it, yeah? So once we know that we feel what's around us, we can also decide from a higher consciousness point of view what we will actually choose to engage with and take on board. If true love really is the belief that someone has the divine right to navigate their own path and journey and they are well equipped to be able to do so, are we genuinely empathic and conscious when we sort of step in and feel the need to help them navigate that path, do things for them, carry their weights, their responsibilities, because I'm here to serve them on some level? Knowing our deeper drives and definitely experiencing the shadow and light aspects of what it is to be an empath gives us a beautiful opportunity to get honest with ourselves. Okay? And perhaps as an empath, you know, something that has deeply helped me in my healing journey is this concept, like as a mother, I'm able to really transfer consciousness or conscious awareness of patterning by just simply asking myself, would I want my child to do X, Y, Z? Name your thing, name your crossroads, name your behavior. It's easy as an empath to continually take on board this false sense of responsibility, because perhaps as part of the dark part of being an empath, there's this oppressive belief that we must be the sponge, we must be the healer, we must be the teacher, we must be, but we're also limiting ourselves and depressing ourselves, Leo, by thinking that we need to be that level above. If we were completely honest and really looked at it in that regard, it's very easy to slip into the shadow aspects of being an empath. It is a beautiful gift to have, to be super sensitive to the feelings and emotions of others. It gives us a sense of, okay, this is where I'm at, this is where they may be at, without them having to speak a word. But why would I want to know that? If it means, am I doing it? Is my deeper intention because I'm afraid and feel like I need to protect myself and prepare myself for the environment I'm about to enter? Is it a sense of fear that's driving that empathy? Yeah, something to think about. I'm also connecting into Leos that are experiencing these energies of honesty and perhaps the opposite. All right, so opposite of honesty, opposite of empathy. You're dealing with energies that are not empathic. You're dealing with energies that are dishonest, because above all this is your envy card. Okay, envy can teach us quite a lot when it rises within us, when it rises in others, and how it's presented. And we have to be empathic to grab the honesty that is not being expressed in many ways. Maybe you are going through connections, as we go in retrograde, where we're learning about connections and what we're learning about our love language and how we form connections. All connections, whether intimate or otherwise, are born and grown in the belief system we have about how we are connecting and why we choose to. It goes without saying, many of us choose to connect for deeper needs of meeting nurture and approval, or whatever the case may be. And these are the gifts of the retrograde, to really take us through, Leo, the timeline where we've learned all of these deeper beliefs and fears and taken them on board as our truth, that they're ultimately navigating our path. We're attracting connections and experiences that are ultimately helping us heal our own shadow. Why do all bad things happen to me? Why do I continually attract people that suck my energy and suck the life out of me? Why do I continually attract dishonesty? I'm not accusing anyone of being dishonest, but I can certainly relate to being passionate about just being frustrated about not experiencing honesty in my own life. But when I went deeper still, I wasn't being honest with self or others, because I was never expressing those boundaries that needed to be expressed. I never voiced concerns that I intuitively picked up on or had repeatedly been given evidence of, really, I guess. I had to be honest with myself first to truly experience the reflection of honesty and really gauge, as an empath, what honesty feels like and what dishonesty feels like. Because as we're developing our intuition and our sensitivity, when it comes to being an empath, we're actually quite open and potent. And it takes years of that ability being tested, learned by ourselves, that we continually have this push-pull relationship with our intuition, yeah? Second-guessing ourselves, because it's the nature of the society we've been grown in. We've been taught to seek outside approval and acceptance. And when we don't get it, we can imbalance. We can really imbalance our levels of honesty within about our true motivations for connection and whether we're actually being genuinely empathic with self. Am I in this connection because I'm seeking some form of approval, even though I know this sort of energy exists? It actually is such a quite complicated relationship that I'm feeling here with these three energies. Now, I'm in a connection that I know that there is envy, but I can see the empathy, and I am an empath, so I have a responsibility to this individual or to this person. But when we get raw and real with ourselves and get honest with ourselves, Leo, would you expect a dear loved one that you care about deeply, or a child of yours or a grandchild of yours, to do the same thing and allow that behavior? Would you want them to continually engage with energy that is dishonest and that is uncompassionate or non-empathic because of this darker human drive of envy, I am the same as everybody else with different challenges. And sometimes we can really play the martyr as well. I'm envious of others that don't have to be there for everyone. I'm feeling I'm different or elevated because I have to help them, or I have to be the empath, or that's just the role I play in this relationship or all relationships of my life. I'm always the healer, the fixer. What are the deeper drives? When we get honest with ourselves, what are the deeper drives there, Leo, as to why we're actually doing that? And do we then experience some form of envy or some sort of resistance, I guess, to the other when we can't do that for self? It's actually quite a dynamic and complex setup that I'm feeling. What are the deeper drives? When we get honest with ourselves, what are the deeper drives behind our giving and the roles we play and the relationships we attract in, and why they perhaps feel like this, and bring it to our awareness a sense of imbalance within self when it comes to envy, when it comes to empathy, when it comes to honesty, and yes, the opposite of which. Okay? Below all this is an energy of forgiveness. And these two, and you're moving into the energy of blame. Now, I won't lie, Leo, this is quite complicated energy. It's definitely can be complicated when we are processing the mirror, all right? So when we're processing the mirror, we're looking at why I'm always attracting certain connections, experiences, it's like getting to the core of deeper drives and Plutonian energy about how and also Venus energy. Like I feel very strongly I'm connecting into Leos that will experience a lift after June the 26th, which is when Venus shifts back out of retrograde. It goes back into forward motion. Now, we will feel that energy strongly around the 20th to the 26th, okay? So it's going back into its, and towards July as well, all right? There's Leos here that are processing energy that's really going to get, they're going to help them get to the core in order to heal a wound where there's some level of forgiveness that's required. And like I'll always say, forgiveness of self is perhaps the trickiest thing to do, and perhaps the most freeing and potent thing to do when it comes to even having to forgive others. There's this sense of forgiveness that will free you from continual repeats of dynamics and patterns. This is what I'm sensing in very many ways, because the energy of blame is what's to come. And that's, again, working with the mirror. Working with the mirror. What I see outside exists in self on some level, on deeper levels, and it's not until we choose to journey and go deeper still we can really get to the core of it, and the core of everything exists within us, otherwise we wouldn't recognize the mirror. And I don't say that lightly. I'm definitely familiar with shadow work and really committing to integrating our human desires and fears into higher consciousness so we can see and perceive things in a whole new way. And the beautiful gift of that, Leo, is really perceiving the past and past pain in a whole new way so that forgiveness can truly happen. But it happens in here first, and once we actually do that, we actually get to see the expression of the true light that exists within, that we can actually see ourselves purely, so that we can see our opportunities in a whole new way too. I accept responsibility for my well-being. And that's, again, it's a potent message for this triage of energy I'm experiencing here. Like I feel like I've got to be the empath and be that helper, take on board those responsibilities and help this person, this individual, or I continually attract relationships in my life that are like that, where I'm the teacher, the giver, the healer, whatever the case may be, Leo. But this is the month where we get to be raw and real and honest with ourselves and really look at the finer details and the core of where that all began, perhaps, and ask ourselves. And as big as that task is, we can ask ourselves in little ways, in little moments, every time. Every time I'm about to make a decision, every time I'm about to send a text, or either even choose not to engage in a text message, or whatever the case may be, or take on board yet another responsibility that isn't mine. Why am I doing it? Oh, because I want to help, or oh, because... How much of that is truthful? Because I want to help. Why do I want to help? Go deeper still. They can't do it with themselves. Is that a fact? Is it really a fact? And if I genuinely love them, would I want them to be able to do it? And if by me handing them that fish, by me handing, are they truly learning? Are they truly learning how to do that task, that responsibility themselves? Go deeper with every choice, with every moment, so that you can really get to the core of the intention, so that we can really understand how this energy permeates. Are we fueled by envy or motivated by envy in some way, Leo? Because we want to show that we're the empathic one, we're the helper, we're the giver. How can we get honest with ourselves there? There's an opportunity here to truly work with the energy of forgiveness. And it releases a whole lot of anxiety. And really looking at that mirror of blame. Everything that was done to me, everything I was taught. Well, here I am now. Here I am now. What do I choose moving forward despite everything that's ever happened to me? I am completely empowered in every choice I make now moving forward, yeah? That's freeing. That's got to be freeing. And I'm not free to blame anyone for every conscious, heartfelt, intentional choice that I make for myself. There's abundance here and growth. There's abundance here and growth when this is navigated with love and conscious awareness, okay? We can truly release the existing threads of anxiety, because I'm feeling it. There can be threads of anxiety, and maybe I'm connecting into Leos that have already done this. You have already done this on your journey, and you are experiencing growth, and you are experiencing abundance, because you were patient, and you were committed to the task of really going within, getting raw and real and honest. You persevered through times that offered you this reflection, this mirror that has taught you so much about self, Leo. And you've been disciplined. And that's what I said, it's not an easy journey. It's going to take discipline, perseverance, patience, to really acknowledge the failures, be willing to fail. As I do a chart, push-pull, with every choice that I'm learning, every higher awareness I integrate, every wisdom that comes to me, I'm choosing to see it as a lesson, a growth, a classroom. And I don't have to stay stuck in the same classroom my whole journey. As in life, we graduate, we celebrate. You know, we celebrate the movement up. There's going to be a lot of genuine self-pride and satisfaction in the success that this can achieve when it comes to you truly, because this is about relationships, when it comes to you truly understanding the circle of life that the webs of relationships have taught you. Everything is connected. Look at it. There's a journey here. It's no more about being in denial, okay? We can no longer deny it. And if I'm talking to Leos that are just embarking on this awareness, certainly with this retrograde energy, it's going to be bringing up that inner conflict, that resistance to it, that sudden increase in opportunities where those moments are going to be amplified and sudden awareness is going to come to you where you're starting to see, holy crap, I didn't even know that family member was that toxic. And I'm not saying these titles and judgments easily. We know in ourselves the relationships in our lives that are divine counterparts and soul family for our shadow and light. There is no right or wrong. All of it is wise, simply because we learn. All of it is teaching us something. So if I'm talking to Leos that are only just sort of starting this process, yes, it's going to take a lot of discipline and self-awareness and commitment to the path about truly reframing your relationships from the inside out and really looking at the dynamics that have existed within relationships in your life and where that was originally learned and formed, okay? The Star, Two of Swords, Queen of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the Lovers, the Ace of Pentacles, wowee, the Page of Swords, the Fool, the Four of Swords. Let's move this stuff over. And to wrap it up, we've got the Seven of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, the Chariot. You're moving forward. The King of Cups, beautiful. Underneath the deck is about emotional mastery. Becoming the master of our emotions helps us truly understand where all this dynamic has developed and really what our emotional drives and our emotional downfalls are when it comes to the power of our emotions. And our empathy is huge when mastered and balanced from a very strong sense of logic and higher consciousness, Leo. Like you start the month with the star. There is a blessing here, and make no mistake, sometimes blessings come packed as challenges or just a complete shutdown of our energetic body and emotional body. We will just be sad for no reason. Why am I overreacting or crying so much? It's something that's just happened. It seems like there's something bigger at play here. I feel there's a blessing here when it comes to your fears, okay? And what makes you feel like yourself again. Now, I really feel the need to clarify this. You've got the Star, the Two of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. Ace of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, the Ten of Swords. You're really coming out of a healing chapter here and wanting a new beginning that is practical. I feel like I'm connecting into Leos that are definitely going through this, but also those that have been on the journey for quite a while, and they are really letting go of the past in many ways, because you can sense it, you can feel what you have manifested start to appear in your life, you know, this tangible beginning. Maybe you have started a relationship that no longer reflects the same old relationship dynamics that you have always found yourself playing, Leo. All right, this is the marriage card. It's a tangible beginning of something new. Maybe you're moving into this new phase of your life where there's something tangible here that has been gained, learned, earned, okay, that takes you to that next level of yourself. This new relationship, new job, new career path, this new path will definitely teach a lot of the Leos that will definitely teach a lot of the Leos that I'm connecting into the value and wisdoms around these energies that you are ultimately integrating when it comes to you and your relationships. And every single one that has crossed your path for higher purpose, for greater. This is about the becoming of you. The last 2 years have been a wisdom teacher in many ways for you, okay? How do I get to the essence of myself and shine my light the brightest? Doesn't matter what element we are, what suit of the tarot we are. This is you. The Queen of Wands is you, okay? This is about you coming into your higher self, your greater realization of self when it comes to integrating these lessons. You know, this is genuine self-confidence, passion, purpose, knowing. She knows who she turns heads. Yeah? She knows who she is and what she wants. So engaging with that energy and what that means for you, are these the deeper drives behind certain decisions and patternings? Do you feel like that in your relationships? Do you feel respected for who you are? And ultimately, how has the last 2 years taught you about these deeper truths? What has the last 2 years taught you? And the next 2 years is definitely a journey into this greater realization of self, and it has and will be a blessing. Maybe you're connected into an Aquarius. Alrighty? You've got a lot of aces, my love, and with that clarification, I mentioned the Ace of Pentacles. You've also got the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands here. Make no mistake, I'm connecting into Leos that have a brand new beginning when it comes to love. A new way to love, a leveling up in an existing connection. With this wisdom integrated, a sudden awareness about how I've attracted certain relationships that have really taken advantage of my empathy, and now I'm meeting myself and I'm committed to myself, and I see that reflected in the connections, the career, the love that is around me. I'm feeling passionate about my path and my purpose. There's a passionate, divine love connection. This is a marriage, a commitment, a new beginning. Take it however it resonates. The Venus retrograde has been a potent one for you, and it wraps up at the end of this month. Really has been trying to teach us about the wisdom that exists with truly understanding our deeper drives when it comes to what we have learned about love. What is our love language? What has love taught us? These lessons start at the very beginnings of life. Our deeper drives in our love relationships and our intentions with every decision. What am I deeply seeking? It's a time to get honest and empathic with self, Leo. This is a beautiful connection. Look at this. On either side of these lovers is the Ace of Coins and Ace of Wands. Divine passion, okay? There's marriage and passion. A commitment, an exciting commitment, an exciting practical new beginning, an exciting new way in which to love that is practical. Apply that in every relationship, but I'm definitely picking up on a Leo here that has a beautiful connection that does not reflect, previous past and whatever the case may be. And maybe these are the Leos that I'm talking to that really have integrated this. Like I said, you've really gotten honest with yourself about the role you have played within relationships, or felt you had to play when it comes to being yourself and the role you must play. When it comes to being genuinely empathic with self and getting honest with ourselves, we can truly see that there's no reason to have to keep forgiving ourselves anymore when we're making conscious choices about the roles that are right for us, the relationships that are right for us and truly meet us on our level. These guys are equal. Those lovers are equal. They see each other openly and honestly. There's an opportunity here to really experience a whole new beginning when it comes to communication, Leo. I feel this is very much a watching and waiting energy when the Page of Swords likes to show up. And you might even experience an introspection within the month where you're really going within. I also feel like I'm connecting to Leos here that have experienced a lot of divine blessings, okay? There's a beautiful period you're going through. There's the Star, the Queen of Wands, the two Aces. You've got the Chariot here, a lot of forward movement. You've got the Zero, you've got the Fool card. And there is envy around. So I'm going to say, if you are an empath and you are concerned about not shining too brightly because you don't want other people to experience that lower emotion of envy, you will only have yourself to blame if you refract from shining your light and experiencing genuine abundance that is being gifted to you, Leo. Because at some point you committed to growth and you wanted expansion, and here it is, okay? Look at these. The two Aces and the Lovers. Here is your abundance because you committed to growth and you committed to truly understanding the deeper drives behind all your relationship connections thus far. You got raw and real and honest with yourself. There's a lot of success here and prosperity and growth. So I'm connecting to a few different stories. There are Leos here that are experiencing this reflection. Do you remember when I did the clarification at the very beginning? Why can't I pick these cards up? It's because I have nails on. There are Leos here that have truly closed a chapter, old way of doing. You've really let go and integrated the wisdom and the forgiveness that came with being stabbed in the back by life and others. So you've done the work. I'm talking to Leos that have done the work and they're truly seeing the manifestation. This is a manifestation card. They are seeing evidence of it, okay? This new beginning that is practical. It is here. This new beginning can be a new relationship, a new leveling up within an existing one. It can be a career path. It is divine love. It is a gift. There's the Star and the Lovers and 3 Aces. So for the Leos that are just integrating this or have been integrating this energy within their journey so far, that is the guarantee, a gift across 3 key, there's 3 beginnings in love, your life, your material success, your material experience of reality, your physical reality will change. Your passion and genuine spark for life again will be ignited. When we integrate deep wisdoms, as painful as it can be and as difficult as it is, remember all those perseverance cards and sticking to it and being patient and perseverance, and it's of purpose. That work, doing the soul work, is of purpose, Leo. It gets us to a point of elevation where we feel like we have tangible options Not only can we go one way, we can go many if we want. We will feel overwhelmed with the emotional satisfaction of having option in our life to truly navigate our path however we wish. This is forward movement. The chariot shows up. We are we are led by both the dark and light of our journey. We have integrated this wisdom and we will never forget. Rightly so, we will know what aligns to our light and what aligns to our dark when we come across it. You get to determine, Leo, who rides your chariot with you. You get to decide who aligns to that. It is worth the work. There are options here. I'm feeling overwhelmed with options. Now, look, I'll always see this card as my hungover card, you know, because we're not sure which one to go for. And sometimes there's a saying in life, you know, nothing worse than one option but two, because then we're confused. We don't know which to go. You will know. You will know what choices are right for you when it comes to the Knight of Coins. This is slow and steady commitment to the greater path ahead. The commitment is the commitment to this new relationship with yourself. Shine your light. Allow others to shine theirs. I'm picking up on both sides of the coin here. If we are, you know, Leo, if there are others that we are envious of, okay, for whatever reason, it is only the tip of the iceberg that we're seeing. Who are we to truly think that we even know what it took to get there? What is the point of envy when we can be investing that thought time, that emotional investment? Because we do. It's an activation of energy. We see something, we start to feel envious. Whatever the case may be, maybe we're envious because a relationship has started that doesn't involve us. I don't know. You know, whatever the case may be. Envy is such a heavy energy. It's not wrong. It's a wisdom teacher, okay? No lower energy is ever wrong. But maybe we're seeing something and we're feeling envious because we're seeing someone experience success, abundance, and these beautiful new beginnings, and just in their Queen of Wands energy where they're confident and they've got this amazing relationship or whatever. Instead of investing that thought energy or emotional energy into feeling envious, our biggest opportunity there is to invest that in self and to do the work that same person has probably done. We are not privy to the iceberg. We only ever see the tip. We cannot possibly know every process of thought, crying, conscious choice that individual had to make in order to achieve their success. And the success is unique to the individual. It would be judgmental of me to say, I just don't understand this energy. I get it. I get envy, but look at it. Why would we want to be the same as everyone? None of us would be learning anything. It's cogs in the wheel. Like, this is cogs in the wheel, okay? There is a valuable gift and tool that every single soul incarnates with and offers a unique gift to the greater whole. Why would I want to replicate what already exists? If I truly am committed as an empath to my healing path and journey, if I'm truly committed to that, I have a responsibility to discover what that is and to be beautifully happy for that individual that can be my guiding light and show me that they have done it. I don't necessarily want exactly what they've got, but I love how they got there, the perseverance that it took to get there. Where did you get that from? The dedication that you embarked on to achieve your growth. How did you do it? What did you tell yourself every day to get there? That's what I want to know. I'm not envious of the actual picture that was achieved. So then we can turn envy into motivation. If we get honest with ourselves about how much energy we allow to invest in that process, and just as equally, because I'm so passionate about that, just as equally, if I experience envy in my outside world, wouldn't it be more freeing just to accept it and understand that, okay, well, I understand where that energy is coming from. I accept them for wherever they are on their journey. I do not have to play into lower relationship lessons again, because I've already integrated the delicacy and the dynamics that happens within relationships, and I can just be honest and be myself and allow myself the divine right to experience my abundance, Leo, without guilt. Because just because I'm an empath doesn't mean I have to feel guilty and responsible for everyone's emotions all of the time. As a true empath, would I want others to shine? Yes. So do I deserve to shine? You better hope so. Otherwise, I am a hypocrite. Otherwise, I will always experience polarity. And it's not until we truly get honest with ourselves, Leo, that we can identify that. I feel like I'm connecting into Leos that will notice in the month of June that you are perhaps shining a little bit too brightly, and it disrupts the comfort of others. And I do want to say that as you shine your light, you give other people conscious permission to do the same. And as an empath, continue to give them full permission to navigate their own path, their emotions, their experiences, their perceptions, while you are free to navigate and experience yours uniquely. And being just conscious with, you know what I was actually thinking of when I saw these two, because I was sitting right here? Being conscious of the energy you allow into your aura, into your web, okay? I'm not sure if you're familiar with diamond code or diamond light energy. See yourself, so like, I don't know, whenever I see this success card, look at this beautiful, it just looks like a diamond to me, with all the prisms, or like you're looking at it from above when it's been cut. Look at it, look at all that. It's multifaceted and just cut like a diamond. It looks like, when I look at that image, it reminds me of a diamond. And I guess because of the word success, it makes me think of shine like a diamond or something to that effect. Surround yourself in a protective grid of diamond light codes. Now, take that however it resonates. When you are working with your aura, your energy field, your energy bubble, you are completely responsible for the energy that transmutes and fuels you within it. So if you need to imagine this as a wall of concrete, it's completely up to you. Be aware of your energy field this month, Leo, and allow what you are allowing to permeate it, okay? Because it is within this space that you are in full control of how you are fueled with every breath in and every breath out. If you let other people's energies impact it, you are consciously choosing to engage in this energy and experience it within your reality, because this is also the energy that you push out into your reality. Like, we can wake up and have a normal sleep and a great refresh to the start of our day. We go to the petrol station and we experience that the service attendant is a little bit low or snappy or rude even. I will take a little bit of that energy if I am not conscious of the fact that that exchange has just happened. And then I'll go to my workplace and my boss will say something that makes me feel demeaned, or that I haven't completed a task successfully or to expected standards. They might be overly critical, whatever the case may be. A colleague might be in a bad mood and snap at me because they've had an argument with their spouse the night before. These are all the energies I'm taking in each and every day, okay? And then it builds and builds, and I come home and snap at my children or my spouse. Be conscious of the energy you are taking into your field every day, because that is the end result. At the end of the day, there's a very high possibility I will have had my energy shifted so much because I have absorbed so many different other frequencies out there. Why? Because I've chosen to be, what? A good empath? Your light is what shines. Without being affected, you can consciously choose that, Leo. You can consciously still shine your brilliant diamond light. And even if that hits and is experienced as envy, because think about a light that shines bright and it's too bright to look at. It's that fight, flight, or freeze psychological process that happens within an individual. But yet moths are still drawn to the flame for a reason. This watching energy. People are drawn to you, Leo, for a reason. Be just very aware of the energy you are taking on board, even when you are not aware of where it is coming from. If you notice an upset in your equilibrium, if you notice a change in your energy field, be aware that you are complete. This is not about blame. This is not about blame, okay? This is about taking conscious responsibility for how we feel in every moment, and that we have the empowered knowing to choose that we will breathe in what we choose to breathe in, just as we have the empowered knowing to breathe out what we choose to breathe out. And I can stand in the middle of a storm and still not be the storm, okay? I feel a very big need to tell some Leos that, because I do see here you have grown, you are abundant, you are experiencing some beautiful energy here. And if you are not yet, there's a very big opportunity that you will after the month of June, Leo, or will during June, if you stick to the path, if you stay disciplined and just become aware, completely authentically aware of your motivations when it comes to your relationships and how you connect to others and how you feel overly responsible. Thus, you experience the shadow aspect of empathy. We experience the shadow aspect of empathy when we're attracting connections that are the shadow aspect of empathy. We too do that too. Relationships are our mirror. They show us the truth of where we're vibrating at. It is the webs we weave. You know, we've created this experience for a reason. So here it is, bam, in our awareness. What do we do with it, Leo? Connecting into Leos that have a strong sense of knowing what they want and who they want to commit to moving forward. Very strong sense of the direction they are traveling, and you are traveling for growth is guaranteed. Okay? I can keep going, loves, and you know that. This is about emotional mastery when the King of Cups shows up. Maybe you're connecting into a Cancer because the Chariot's here too. Cancer, Gemini is strong. Okay? There was an opportunity here where you didn't want to take a chance to whatever. Change yourself, change your relationships, the way in which you open your heart. But you did. You've manifested something here for some of the Leos that I'm talking to. And you really have here, look at that, it's a double 10 of swords. I'm definitely connecting in to Leos that are healing and awakening from the influence and impact of narcissistic behavior, really. Like, this is betrayal energy. There's two 10 of swords here. There's an ending to a cycle here of how much you are awakened to the fact that strategic and selfish and narcissistic tendencies really impacted your ability to connect or otherwise. For shadow or light, we can all well and truly say, when the Seven of Swords shows up, I refer to it as my narcissist card. Now, having a label for something is just a human way in which we define what is comfortable for us so that we can understand it, you know. But we all know what this energy is like, where it's survival mode, having to do certain things for a deeper instinct or a deeper intentional drive. It might be selfish. You know, like I said, there's a very big difference between power and empowerment. You can feel it in the individual you meet. You can feel what they are driven by. If they're driven by, sadly enough, some selfish tendencies to take and not give. And as the empath, we have conscious choice then to continue and participate in that exchange, yeah? As empaths, when we spend our time around energy that ultimately influences us, you know, until we become consciously aware, Leo, of the energy that we are constantly taking in and constantly releasing, would it be so wrong to assume that if we're around energy like this for an extended amount of time that we start to become it? It's a big one. Hey, the shadow and light of empathy. Okay? You will know where you are at in this journey, in this path, and ultimately how everything weaves together. And I'm connecting into Leos that have experienced an awakening and have really embarked on a path to truly get to the core of this wisdom lesson. So if this is you and you have, I know you are shining and that people are noticing, because life has changed. You have changed. You are attracting and manifesting. I saw the manifestation card. I mustn't have talked about it. The Magician, you've manifested this. I must have brought it up already. Manifested this higher consciousness awareness and opportunity to integrate it. What you can achieve when you do is huge, as evidenced by some of the stories that I've already picked up on. There's a beautiful beginning energy here, a new version of you, a new way in which to love, live, and experience self that you can genuinely feel excited about. These endings were beautiful divine gifts, so you can experience something quite like nothing you've ever experienced before when it comes to relationships and love. Oh, that's so beautiful and romantic. But it is more than just intimate love. It is the relationship we have with ourselves, guys. We can truly say that we see ourselves no different to how we truly see those that we love and our children, yeah? It's easy as empaths to say, I want the best for them. I want the best for those people I love. And that's all well and good, but can we authentically and honestly say we want the same for self? When we get to that level of saying, yes, I actually do. That's abundance. That's freedom. That's authenticity, yeah? And anything from that point on is possible for us to achieve everything we've ever wanted. Alrighty? Leo, it's a huge month, as it is for all of the zodiacs. And I trust that wherever you are in this story, that you are persevering. You are integrating it, you are glowing, and you are grateful for wherever you are right now. I'll see you for your fortnightly readings soon. Namaste. Thanks for watching.